days. You've seen the moon and its darker side. I can feel the gravity, the forces pull between you and me. Yes, it's true, I'm falling hard for you, but I won't rush this love. I can wait even if it's hard to take. One moment is enough. I will be standing here right by your side. I will be standing here till the end of time. I will be standing here all through the night, till the stars align. Gets a little lighter over time. Yes, it's true, I'm falling hard for you, but I won't rush this love. I can wait even if it's hard to take. One moment is enough. I will be standing here right by your side. I will be standing here till the end of time. I will be standing here all through the night, till the stars align.
Hello, can we hear me now? I think we can. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Young Fan Box. We do have sound. We do have some sort of audio. That is some sort of relief. Welcome back. What an away game that was for Oxford United, and what a performance that was from Oxford United, as of course we go to Burton Albion and win the game by 3-1. Very, very impressive. And I want to hear from you in the live chat as per usual. You give your thoughts in that live chat, and I can read them out and discuss it, and we can really break the game down. I've also got my notes here as well, so we can really get involved in the game today as Oxford United earn their second away win of the season. Of course, our last away win was Sheffield Wednesday, both of the away trips this season that we've won have been very, very good wins. But I'd probably say this is one of the best performances, if not the best performance of the season. I honestly think it is. It was a very, very, very well done performance. Now, of course, we've had games this season where we have played very, very well. But I thought, in terms of all-round performance level and the sort of the way that we approach the game in so many aspects and so many areas of this game, I thought it's definitely up there with one of the best of the season. And that has to be something that we can sort of take away from this game and feel really, really good about. But when I'm sort of describing this game in simple terms, it just comes to mind as a real sort of quality and professional performance. It's one of those games where you've just got to approach the game in the right way and in the most professional way possible, and almost in a non-disrespectful way towards Burton, almost sort of sweep them aside. It was one of those where we sort of didn't really let them get involved in the game. We didn't let them get in, didn't really let them get in the game at all, really. And just almost cruise past them. And we know we've seen Burton this season do very, very well. They've beaten the likes of Ipswich, they've beaten Sunderland, they've beaten Portsmouth, they've beaten some big teams this season. So there's no denying that they're no joke. Let's put it that way. And they're 7th in the league going into this game. They're now not, of course, we take 6th spot. We're in the playoffs, which is very, very exciting. But we knew going into this game, Burton were going to be no joke. They weren't going to be an easy game by any stretch. But we approached this game really, really well, and in such a good, well done way. And that sometimes is the best way of doing things. You've got to go into the game playing some of your best football. I thought today we did play some of our best football. I thought we would dominate in possession, and we'll bring up the stats in just a second. We'll switch over to the stats screen in just a second, and we can really break the performance down by looking at that. But I've got to be honest, when we had the ball and in possession, I was really, really impressed with Oxford United this afternoon. I thought, like I said there, we will go into the more detailed possession stats, but overall I can tell you we dominated the game. We had the ball, and what we did most of all, when we did have the ball, we were actually good with it, which sounds stupid, but we can have all the ball, we can have all the possession in the world, but can you make the most of it? Can you make the most of the possession and of the ball? And can you also, when you have good spells in games, when you have dominant spells in game, can you make the most of it? Sometimes this season, I can say quite a few times this season, unfortunately, Oxford haven't been able to do that. And of course, I've been very, very open about that, and we spoke about it so many times on the podcast. How I think we haven't been good enough when we've had the ball, and we've had spells in games, and we've had moments in games where we just haven't really taken full advantage, and we've sort of been, I'd say, disappointing. The clean example was the last home game. The last home game we did a podcast, and we've had Shrewsbury in between, which of course we won. But the last time we did a podcast match reaction was against Plymouth, and we had a lot of the ball, and we had a lot of possession, and we also had a lot of chances, and we didn't take the chances, we didn't take those opportunities, and unfortunately we lost the game. We played for a good side, we didn't take the chances. Today we did that. We did that exactly. We had the ball, and we did well in possession, and we actually were very, very clinical in front of goal. I mean, it started in the 51st second of the game. After 51 seconds, Matty Taylor goes through a beautiful ball. Forward, you should say. I mean, it was a bit of a defensive issue and a bit of a defensive calamity, but the fact that no one had actually stopped that ball go through to Matty Taylor. But nevertheless, for Oxford United, we're not complaining. He gets hold of the ball, he gets it in a good position, he slots it into the back of the net, and it's 1-0 very, very early on in the game. And ultimately, that was something that was really, really impressive. Was we started strong, and so a lot of times this season we've actually have started strong. A lot of times this season we actually have started with a goal, and we have gone 1-0 up, and it's about how we react to that. Sometimes you get a goal a little bit too early. Can you get it too early? I don't know. Oxford United managed to get it a few times too early in games, and then become a little bit complacent, maybe take the foot off the gas a little bit and allow the opposition to get in and then go at Oxford, and then we sometimes don't really approach and play out the game the way that we would want it to. And we have a game plan sometimes, and sometimes when you go 1-0 up straight away, similar to going 1-0 down straight away, that game plan changes completely, because not many managers set a game up and set a team up expecting to go 1-0 up before the first minute of the game actually hits the clock. So you've got to then, but after you've done that, be able to control the game and almost pretend it is 0-0 and approach the game as if it was still 0-0 even after such a fantastic start. And Oxford did actually play like that. They didn't just get that first goal and sit back. They didn't just get that first goal and allow Burton to come. We got that first goal, and we continued to play some really, really good football. I thought Taylor was absolutely fantastic today, and that wasn't just, in my opinion, because of that goal he scored and also winning the penalty in the second half. I'd also say he was just very, very good, just generally all round. And what he did really well today is we put balls forward to Matty Taylor, even though the defenders were much bigger than Taylor. He actually did really, really well. not holding off the ball, if you like, but also, I guess, just really sort of being a bit of a nuisance for the defence, and then also in a lot of occasions actually getting the ball up and actually holding up the ball and then actually making him maybe draw a foul on Matty Taylor, allow a free kick, different things in the game which were frustrating and annoying, as well as a really good finish, like I said, in the first seconds of the game, and also winning the penalty in the last sort of 10 minutes of the game as well, after Burton of course got a goal back, made it a little bit nervous, but still, you felt that Matty Taylor today did really, really well. And I was very, very impressed with Matty Taylor. Remember, give your thoughts in that live chat. Crinkles says, what's up, mate? How you doing, Crinkles? If you want to give your thoughts, of course, in the game. Hopefully you're doing well, my friend. If you were at the game, whether you weren't at the game, maybe you want to give your questions and ask questions on it. I don't mind. I'm happy to answer those. But welcome to the stream, my friend. Welcome to this match reaction for Oxford United against Burton Albion. A very, very good win for Oxford United. Hopefully you're doing well, my friend. Hopefully you're doing well. Remember, you can give your thoughts on the game, I said, in that live chat. It's a little bit early, so we might get, the people probably coming in the stream a little bit later on in the stream. It is 5:30 in the afternoon on a Saturday, so we will get the people in, I'm sure, as it goes on. But, yeah, please just give your thoughts, share it, get it out there, retweet the stream, whatever you need to do, get it out to the people, we get a real discussion in here. But either way, I can give you my thoughts. Remember, you can watch this anytime. Remember, you can watch this as a video after as well, and if you are watching it as a video, please make sure you leave a like and subscribe. What I also want to mention as well is actually Nathan Holland and how well I thought Nathan Holland did today. I thought he was very, very good at running at the defence, which sounds stupid being a winger, and when you're a winger you sort of expect that, but not all the time. I think Gavin White has been a little bit of a culprit of doing this sometimes when playing on that wing. Especially on that left-hand side, he hasn't really ran at enough players this season for my liking. For someone with that pace and some of that dribbling and skill ability we've got in Gavin White, sometimes I feel like he could run at them. I mean, he can do them 9 times out of 10 with his pace. And that does come down to confidence a little bit, not having that real sheer confidence to do that. Whereas Nathan Holland, I thought, has done that very, very well. He did it fantastically well against Accrington Stanley when he started in that game and, of course, got a goal. I think it was 2 goals. Was it 2 goals in the game? And I thought was absolutely fantastic there. And again today, he ran at the defence. He got a goal as well, which was, it will go down as an own goal, but I think it was quite a harsh own goal, to be honest with you. I thought Nathan Holland did very, very well in that position to then slot into the back of the net. But I thought generally Nathan Holland, what he has done this season is he has got himself, when he's given an opportunity, actually taken those opportunities. And again, that sounds a little bit ridiculous, but a lot of players will get opportunities, especially with Oxford United this season, when there's a lot of competitivity in this squad. This is a real competitive squad. We've got good squad. We've actually got good squad depth. We've actually got really, really good depth in specific positions, and actually especially on the wing. Dan Adji didn't get a minute today. And you still got Gavin White to bring off the bench. You've got Sykes, who's done so well this season. You've got Holland, who's hitting some really, really good form. You've got Joel Cooper, who we just haven't seen enough of. Billy Bowden, again, we haven't seen a lot of him. Ryan Williams did really well at the start of the season and now is slowly making sub-appearances after that injury. So a lot of players on that wing, just a lot of wingers, you could say, playing on those flanks and being able to be a big part of his squad. So when you get that opportunity, you have to take it. And Nathan Holland has done that this season. I thought it was, again, fantastic today. So impressed with Nathan Holland. I can't wait to see more of him as the season goes on and as he gets more and more opportunities. I'm sure he will get more and more opportunities, and that again excites me, because I think Nathan Holland is a player that I think has really matured since we last saw him in Oxford United shirt when him out originally from West Ham on loan a few seasons ago. I thought he looked really, really good about then and very, very lively, but still a little bit raw. Today I think he looks much, much better. Actually, a little bit more, I'd say, better football intelligence in the best way possible. I thought he looks very, very good when he has the ball and what he does with it, and that's the most important thing as well. You can be a very, very good player on the ball and have great dribbling and skill and footballing ability, but can you bring it into a match day and be effective on the football pitch? I think Nathan Holland, we're seeing more and more of that as the season goes on, and actually now we've seen him in his second spell here at Oxford, so really, really happy with Nathan Holland and what he brings this side. And like I said, hopefully we'll see more and more of him as the season goes on. Another player that I want to see more and more of the season goes on is Herbie Kane. I know I was very, very critical of him at the start when he joined from Cheltenham. Maybe didn't help that Karl Robinson, who thankfully is on the mend after, of course, getting COVID-19. So hopefully we are hearing that he is getting better and better by the day, which is very, very good. Without him on the touchline, it is making a difference. But of course, the most important thing is he recovers and gets better, which we are hearing he is. So that's very, very good. And fair play to Craig Short and John Mousinho, of course, who've managed the last 2 games, the last 2 wins we've got. Of course, they were on the touchline for the Shrewsbury game on Tuesday, which we won 2-0, and of course on the touchline at Burton today when we've just won the game 3-1. So they are doing a pretty decent job, but that doesn't take away from the fact that Karl Robinson, of course, needs to be recovering as quickly as possible, and I'm sure, and hopefully, and we know he is getting better by the day, like I've said. So hopefully we look forward to seeing him back on the touchline as Oxford United manager very, very soon. But going back to Herbie Kane, and I was very, very critical of Herbie Kane right at the start, especially against the Cheltenham game. I'm just seeing a better Herbie Kane week by week, and that again just excites me. I'm not one of these football fans, and I'm not a football fan at all really, that when has an opinion feels like he has to stay with that opinion, feels like this person has to stay with an opinion even though it's being blatantly proved wrong every single week. And I don't want to change my opinion just because it doesn't suit my agenda or doesn't suit my original thought. I don't think it makes me a bad football fan, or it doesn't make me someone that doesn't know football less just because I've changed my opinion because I've been proved wrong. There'd be a lot of footballers, for example, that I'm sure were very, very good at one point. We can give examples, we're not going to, but you know what I'm trying to say. That were very, very good at one point and just deteriorated slowly. There'll still be people out there saying that player is one of the best and they think he's still of that original quality, but clearly has deteriorated, but doesn't want to change their opinion. With Herbie Kane, I'm in a boat almost opposite of that. I'm in the position where I started off being very, very critical of him, but I'm now happy to admit that I think he was just building and growing, and we've seen that from Herbie Kane, and I've been very, very impressed with it. I think today what we've seen from him is him picking up the ball really, really well. Not just breaking up the play is one thing, but also breaking up the play and then doing something with it. Gorin is very, very good at breaking up the play, but sometimes he can struggle with then trying to recycle play and start attacks. Herbie Kane has got that amazing ability at breaking up play, but also got that amazing passing ability and dribbling ability, but mainly I'd say that amazing passing range and intelligent passing range and intelligent passing all round really to spot something in the game and then be able to go and effectively put it into shape and make it something that can really, really benefit Oxford United. Herbie Kane has done that so many times in recent weeks. We've seen a better and better Kane, and that really, really excites me. Now, I want to switch over to this screen here, and I want to look at the game in more depth. Now, this is the starting lineup we saw from Oxford United. We had a few changes. The one you'll probably see if you weren't at the game or you didn't follow the game or you didn't, either listen to it or whatever. Simon Eastwood was in goal today. Jack Stevens, unfortunately, has got a glandular. I think it's glandular fever. It's of course that's again. Thankfully, it's not. I mean, I say thankfully it's not COVID, but again, that's not not much of a better fever or illness to have, is it? Really, either way, being ill at all is obviously very, very annoying. And hopefully, again, like Karl Robinson has already mentioned, can get better quickly. It looks like he's gonna have a few weeks out and he needs to recover. That's the most important thing that we keep saying. Football, of course, is very, very down the pecking order when it comes to health. That's always first. And Simon Eastwood had an opportunity today. Of course, he hasn't started in the league since the last game, the last game he's done in the league was Swindon, I believe. We won that ended up. Not the last winning game, the one that we won. The one before that, which we lost 2-1 at home. So it was a massive opportunity for Simon Eastwood today. Get another opportunity in the league. And I thought generally, I know the player written there says 6.4. That's a little bit harsh, maybe because he conceded a goal. I don't exactly know how they judge goalkeepers statistically with ratings here on SofaScore. But I think generally the other ratings look fairly fair. But Simon Eastwood, take away the fact that he's been sort of thrown into it, if you like, without not much game time before. That was a goalkeeper, being a second goalkeeper. You don't really get that sort of working your way into match fitness. You get thrown straight into the deep end. And Simon Eastwood, he's intelligent enough, he's old enough, he's experienced enough to know that you get these opportunities, you've got to take them. And Simon Eastwood did very, very well today. I don't think he did something. I mean, there was one really particularly good save that I remember. But other than that, I don't remember something that was blowing my mind away. But generally, as a goalkeeper, he was nothing. It wasn't his fault for that goal that we conceded, which was very, very poor defending, which we'll come into in a second. It wasn't a fault for the goal. I thought he looked very, very steady in goal. Simon Eastwood, between the sticks, I thought an opportunity for him today. I think he did really, really well. And he'll have a few more games now. I know he'll have Morecambe probably. Well, he'll probably have the Tottenham game, under 23s on Tuesday, and then he'll probably have the Morecambe game. He may even have the Wigan away trip as well. So he's going to get opportunities. He's going to get games now. And again, it's about him. He'll be probably thinking as much as he wants his friend, and we all want his friend and Oxford United's first number one goalkeeper now, Jack Stevens, to recover. He'll be looking at another way as well, at thinking, I want to keep this spot and I want to try and stay in between the sticks. I'm a goalkeeper. I want to be playing football. I don't want to be sat on the bench. And he'll probably be thinking that as well. with that back four, I thought Sam Long, Elliot Moore, Jordan Thornley, Steve Seddon looked pretty good today. I say pretty good. If it wasn't for that goal we conceded, I'd say very good. I thought generally they were very, very good. I thought Elliot Moore was really good. I thought Jordan Thornley had a moment in the game where he got the wrong side of his man, and that got a little bit dangerous, a little bit worrying. But other than that, looked very, very good. It was the fullbacks to me that were the problem when we conceded the goal. I thought generally, as you know, the actual game itself, the fullbacks were very, very good going forward. They were very, very, very helpful and very, very effective. Defensive, I thought again generally, other than the goal that we conceded, were very, very good. It was Sam Long on that right hand side where he got run at, really, got done fairly easily, a ball into the penalty area that wasn't actually a great ball, and then Steve Seddon literally just basically across goal, stupidly clearance, mishitted the clearance, across goal, straight to the man, and he hit it in the top left of the corner at 2-1 with 10 minutes to go. The worst time to make it 2-1. Thankfully, again, like we said, we didn't hold back. We got that third goal, which we'll come into in a second, through Matty Taylor's amazing intelligence. But generally, I thought, other than that, defence was good. Sloppy from the fullbacks to concede that goal, but generally still very, very good. Any more chats come in? I don't think there has been any. Remember, you can give your thoughts in the live chat. I'll be reading out all of those live chats. I want to hear from you. You can ask questions, thoughts on the game, anything like your man of the match, any discussion points. I want to hear from you. I love the interactive shows. Yeah, I want to hear from you as always. We've already mentioned about Herbie Kane, a bit harsh on that player rating. Again, 6.8. I'd definitely give him a 7 today. James Henry, I definitely would say that's quite fair. That, he scored the penalty, but also looked very, very good. He looks like a very, very powerful player who's happy now at run. I mean, he's always been happy at it, but in particular this season, I've been very, very comfortable at just running and powering through players, causing problems, and creating chances. James Henry's been phenomenal this season. He's phenomenal today. I'd probably give him an 8 out of 10. Cameron Bradigan, I know he got booked for quite a clever foul, a little bit blatant, but clever foul to stop a counter-attack, a professional foul if you like. Really impressed with Cameron Bradigan today. Again, a very, very solid midfield performance. That unit of a 3 were very, very good. Like I said, all 3 of those players have different roles. Herbie Kane sits a little bit deeper, breaking up the play if you like, but then also we're able to recycle the ball. I've noted this one thing down as well. I've got a new sort of name for it. It's really called Oxford's Dominant Cycle. We can call it Oxford's Recycle. We can call it Oxford's Dominant Recycle of Dominance. I don't care how we call it. But what I'm trying to say is it's this cycle of Oxford United without the ball originally. Burton, for example, in this case, an example, the opposition, however you want to look at it, get hold of the ball, we win the ball back, whether that's through the defence. If it's through the defence, he passes it off to Herbie Kane, and then he passes it off to the attackers. It sounds very, very simple, but it works really, really effectively. Again, we saw it so many times, in particular today, where the Burton man would put a ball forward. Elliot Moore done really, really well at being able to defend it in the air, because they're going to try and get it in the air, because they've got Akins, who's a very, very powerful, strong number 10 or number 9. He plays a number 9, but he wears the number 10 shirt. Ball over the top, and we could deal with it really, really well. We head the ball down, goes straight down to Herbie Kane. He then looks up, and then he can pass it off to James Henry, who's already gone, or Cameron Branigan that provides a different offset. He then he can go straight to Nathan Holland. He can find a lovely ball over to Mark Sykes. He can send Matty Taylor straight through, as he's done a lot of times this season. It's that simple cycle of not having the ball, winning it back through the defence, or even straight to the midfield. They could even be running at it. Herbie Kane wins the ball back, doesn't just get the ball back and then pass backwards. He wins the ball back and then also can then start something very, very promising going forward. And that, again, is the difference between Goran, who's very, very good at tackling and also going to break the game down in that way, but Herbie Kane can do that different level, in my opinion. Again, a very, very two different players. I understand that. I would, in terms of someone that I'd want to bring on, trying to hold a game out, which we did see Goran come on. I probably would go with Goran. Having Goran and Herbie Kane, we've seen this season, has been very, very good. However, Herbie Kane can break the ball down, break the game up, and break this attack, for example, up, and then can recycle and start something different. And again, that can be really, really good. Please make sure, if you're new, if you just joined us, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. I want to hear from you as well in that live chat. Leaving a like and subscribing is really, really helpful. If you're new, you can subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you're free to leave a like as well, just that thumbs up button, that'd be much appreciated. Really, really helps me out and shows that you're enjoying the live stream. Hopefully, again, if you want to say something, you can give it in the live chat, and I can read that out as well. And then moving on to that front three, I thought Nathan Hollick, I've already mentioned today, has been very, very good. Mark Sykes today, little bit quiet. He had a really, really good chance in that. Well, he created a really good chance in that first half where he got hold of the ball. Beautiful pass through to Cameron Brannigan, who maybe should have scored. I'd say probably should have scored, and a good save from the goalkeeper. You can see the goalkeeper there. I'd say was their man of the match. I think they're giving it Thomas Hamer, but I probably would have given it to Ben Garrett in goal. I thought without him, although we did actually give away the penalty, he probably could have been 6 or 7 if it wasn't for him. We had a lot of chances in the game, which we'll come on to in a second statistically. But Mark Sykes, a beautiful ball through to Cameron Brannigan, like I said, probably should have scored, but Ben Garrett definitely held his shape, made himself look big, and prevented it from going into the back of the net and making it 2-0 quite quickly, really. I mean, we scored very, very early on. It could have been 2-0 within about 20 minutes, but really, really happy. The setup again was very, very good. We had really good structure. I thought every single player in that structure and in that team looked really, really good today. And yeah, generally very, very impressed, very, very happy. And again, that is like I said, a professional, well done, quality performance. And that's all you can ask, isn't it? It's all you can ask. I want to come back to that sort of our transition in midfield as well before we look at the stats. I thought our transition in midfield today was really, really good. I thought when we go from breaking up the play, like I mentioned there, our sort of dominant cycle, if you like, but breaking the ball up and then looking very, very fluid when we're trying to change from that more defensive ways to then attacking more and then turning into quite more offensive, I thought we looked really, really good. And with that midfield, you can do that because you've got Herbie Kane, who's not just good at breaking the ball up and looking good defensively, but he's also very, very good at creating and then also starting attacks and starting something offensive as well. With James Henry, he's a very, very powerful player that likes to run and create chances as well. Cameron Brannigan, look further forward this season, has been much better. He's getting goals. He's sort of really impacting games from midfield, which is fantastic. And we've been asking that for quite a few, I'd say seasons. I'd say that we need goals from midfield. You can see today, James Henry got a goal, although it was from a penalty. He scored a lot of goals this season from midfield. Cameron Brannigan got another goal on Tuesday night and looks, again, further forward, like he can create things. And that, I think, does come from having Herbie Kane behind him, because he's got someone behind him who can also do the dirty work and break the ball up, but then also create things as well. So he's not that reliant Cameron Brannigan who has to be the creator. Because if you're playing in midfield, again, with James... Well, I mean, it hasn't always been James Henry in midfield, has it? But you're playing in midfield with James Henry, Cameron Brannigan and Gorin. Brannigan's looking behind him and thinking, I've got Gorin breaking up the play, but I know I need to be more attacking, if you like, and I need to be more playmaker. I need to create more chances. I can't really attack so much. That can be more James Henry. This season, he's got Herbie Kane that can do both of that, and best of both worlds, really. He can do both of those things, and he can attack, and he can join sort of James Henry in that midfield to go on and attack. So he has that sort of freedom that Herbie Kane allows him to have. Like I said, this isn't me having a go and criticising Gorin in different ways, because like I said, Gorin in specific ways, it can be very, very good. When I talk about defensively holding games out and in a more nitty-gritty game and in games where I want to definitely breaking the play up or maybe breaking the game up slightly, I definitely would prefer having Gorin, because defensively and he's very, very good and very, very intelligent, and also game management, I think Gorin is really quite clever at, and he does the simple stuff very, very well. Whereas Herbie Kane, he's definitely that different class, he's that different level, he's played at that level before. He's just a very, very different midfielder to him. But in that midfield three, I think they look really, really well. And that, again, is something that really, really excites me. It's about how you approach these things and how you approach these games with those midfielders. I thought I've been really, really impressed with that. Like I said, Matty Taylor today got that goal, in the first few seconds and was very, very happy and very, very... I was extremely happy with the way that he played. And then also look at him with that penalty as well. He was never getting to that ball, but a really, really sort of clever movement to just get in front of the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper goes down, and he gives a penalty straight away. Now, I do want to look at these stats here as well, because I think statistically this game could be really interesting. You can see overall the possession stats see us on 60% possession to 40. We can see there we were very, very dominant. 60% to 40 possession overall in that first half. We had 59% possession. And in that second half, we were even more dominant at 60%. We can see there, we had 22 shots overall, 9 shots on target. In terms of big chances created, we actually had 3. We actually missed 1 big chance as well. In that first half, we had 9 shots. In the second half, we had 13 shots. I would say we were slightly more dominant and played our better football in that first half. But I thought maybe in that second half, we maybe sort of a little bit better at sort of maybe offloading these sort of attacks and creating more chances. And not creating more chances, sorry, actually I guess not converting them either, actually making the most of having the ball and having shots off. And in that second half, you clearly see that we're better than that. You can see down here as well. There we are, 6th in the League One table, 24 points on 14 games played, a few games in hand, and one game in hand on Plymouth, but actually a few games. Actually, Wigan and Sunderland played one game less than us, haven't they? So it really could go either way. But really, really happy with that. You can see that defeat in the middle from that Plymouth game, then back it up with 2 wins as well. It's very, very good, and that's a really, really promising place to be. Again, I want to look at these overall stats as well. You can clearly see here they were actually better overall at long balls, but other than that, we had more passes, we had more accurate passes. They had a better ratio at long balls, but we didn't have many at all. You can see how many overall they had to what we had. They actually, to be fair, they had 89. We had 96, quite close really when it comes to that. But crosses were better. Possession lost. They lost that more times. They did win duels. They did win more duels than we did. But did we have as many to defend? Is the other question. So overall, you can see statistics are really, really quite an interesting way at looking at the game. But overall, very, very happy with it. Very, very happy with the performance. And overall, like I said, it's a quality, well done performance. And again, like I said, that sometimes is what you need. I thought the performance overall was very, very promising, and I've really, really enjoyed breaking the game down, talking it to you as well. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this episode of the podcast. Obviously, I understand that we do find ourselves maybe in a position where we've now got got some difficult games coming. We've got Morecambe, and then we've got 2 games against Ipswich and Wigan. I look forward to sort of going into those more games as well, and also doing match reactions as well. So also creating lots of content around League One, like we've already been doing quite recently, and also we are doing on the podcast this season, which is very, very exciting. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this episode of the podcast. If you're new, like I said, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Even if you're not new, you can leave a like. It's for everybody. But if you haven't subscribed, please make sure you do that. Hit that red button down below. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode of the podcast. You'll be notified when I go live like this, or when I do a recorded podcast episode like we do normally during the week as well. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Until next time, I've been Jack. This has been the Unfair Podcast, and I'll see